What if some of the strangest creatures on Earth aren't monsters from science fiction, but real animals with abilities that seem almost impossible? One can regenerate parts of its body, another can potentially reset its biological clock, and one can strike with a force so extreme
that it creates a tiny explosion underwater. These aren't creatures from another planet. They're living on ours, and the last one may be the strangest of all.
You know some of the absolute strangest creatures on Earth? They aren't science fiction monsters. Down in the pitch-black ocean and hiding in plain sight, there are realities that seem, well, entirely impossible. We're talking about abilities that feel like they belong strictly in a blockbuster movie. Regenerating lost body parts flawlessly? Resetting a biological clock just to cheat death itself? Are these just CGI fantasies? Nope. These are very real animals living right now on our planet. We even have one creature that can strike with a force so extreme, it literally creates explosive underwater shockwaves. These aren't aliens, guys. They're right here among us. And stick around because the strangest creature is yet to come at our #1 spot, and its biology will absolutely blow your mind. Welcome to this explainer on nature's impossible realities. Okay, let's dive straight into this countdown. Coming in at number 3, get ready for the incredibly unique axolotl. Number 3, the axolotl, an unreal regeneration marvel. At first glance, this animal looks almost entirely unbelievable. Just look at that strange face, those tiny dot-like eyes, and those wild external gills that look like a feathery crown sitting right on top of its head. It is absolutely mesmerizing to see up close. But its appearance, not even the most incredible thing about it. See, while humans can repair limited damaged tissue, like, say, healing a cut, our ability to actually regenerate complex body parts is practically zero. But the axolotl, it plays by a completely different set of rules. If it loses a limb, it doesn't just form a scar, it flawlessly regrows it. Bone, muscle, nerves, the whole shebang perfectly rebuilt from scratch. So how on earth does it do this? Well, it all comes down to a concept called neoteny. Instead of completely transforming into a land-dwelling adult like most amphibians do, think of a tadpole turning into a frog, the axolotl just doesn't. It retains its juvenile characteristics throughout its entire life. It essentially stays in this permanent, aquatic, youthful state. That strange evolutionary strategy is exactly why scientists are practically living in laboratories right now, trying to map its DNA. By figuring out exactly how the axolotl cells coordinate this perfect regeneration, we might actually unlock secrets for our own biology. It could eventually teach us so much more about how regeneration might work in humans, a real game changer. But there is a twist here, and it's a vulnerable reality. The axolotl isn't some invincible superhero. In the wild, its natural habitat is actually extremely limited, and the species faces some really serious conservation challenges. So, despite having literal superpowers, it's a stark reminder that some of Earth's most extraordinary creatures are also incredibly fragile in their natural environments. Now, if you thought regrowing limbs was strange, just wait. Let's move on to our number 2 spot and meet an animal that seems to quite literally cheat aging itself. Number 2. Turritopsis dohrnii. Most people just call it the immortal jellyfish. It's a tiny, translucent animal drifting through the deep blue ocean, and it carries one of the most famous, highly specialized nicknames in the entire animal kingdom. But right off the bat, we've got to ask the obvious question, right? Is it literally impossible to kill? Let me clear that myth up right away. No, absolutely not. A predator can still eat it. Disease can kill it. Even simple environmental changes can wipe it out. It is definitely not walking away from a predator attack unscathed. So why call it immortal? Well, because of its ultimate biological trick. When this specific jellyfish becomes severely stressed or injured, it doesn't just naturally progress toward death. Instead, over a matter of hours, it triggers a massive cellular transformation. Days later, it reverts into a colony-like polyp stage. And weeks after that, it produces brand new jellyfish. It effectively hits rewind on its developmental state. The crucial thing to understand here is that this is essentially a biological reset button. Imagine if an adult human, when severely injured, could just return to an earlier developmental state, like reverting to an embryo, and begin life all over again. Obviously, that's not how human biology works, but it is exactly why cellular reprogramming in this tiny jellyfish absolutely fascinates researchers around the world. Now keep in mind, this isn't magic eternal life. It's just a highly specialized evolutionary trick. It's a biological mechanism that's heavily dependent on its environment. Still, the fact that an adult animal can simply hit reverse on its life cycle, that is undoubtedly one of nature's strangest realities. Okay, which brings us to our final creature. And let me tell you, I want you to forget regeneration. Forget reversing life cycles. Get ready for number 1, because this next animal packs a biological punch that simply defies logic. Number 1, the Mantis Shrimp, masters of biological shockwaves. Now, you might spot this creature hanging out on a coral reef and just see these stunning, vibrant colors, but do not underestimate this little guy. Beneath that beautiful exterior hides a terrifying, club-like striking appendage built for pure, unadulterated destruction. The physics going on here are straight out of a comic book. First, it unleashes an extremely rapid strike that accelerates so incredibly fast, it creates intense pressure changes in the water. Those pressure changes cause tiny, microscopic cavitation bubbles to form. And when those bubbles violently collapse, they release incredible amounts of energy as an actual underwater shockwave. And here is the craziest part. The target isn't just hit by the physical punch. The surrounding water itself becomes part of the weapon. The intense localized shockwave, and even the heat from those collapsing bubbles, do just as much damage as the actual physical impact. It is truly mind-blowing physics happening right there in the ocean. So how on earth does a small shrimp manage to do this? It all comes down to a biological spring-loaded mechanism. Biomechanics researchers are absolutely obsessed with this animal because of the way it stores elastic energy within its specialized anatomy. It literally locks its biological system in place, builds up immense tension, and then snap. It releases it incredibly quickly. It is one of the most remarkable kinetic strikes found anywhere in the animal kingdom. And its arsenal doesn't even stop at shockwave fists and spring-loaded biomechanics. These guys also possess an extraordinarily complex visual system, fully equipped with multiple photoreceptor types and highly sophisticated polarization vision. This means they're out there seeing a spectrum of colors and light in ways humans literally can't naturally experience. It really is the ultimate underwater predator. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's the sheer power of evolution. No sci-fi needed. The perfectly regenerating axolotl, the life-reversing jellyfish, the wildly explosive mantis shrimp, they are all the awe-inspiring results of deep time and biological adaptation happening right here on Earth. I really want to hear from you on this one. Which biological superpower shocked you the most today? Were you most amazed by the regenerating axolotl? The crazy age-resetting trick of the immortal jellyfish? Or the absolutely explosive punch of the mantis shrimp? Drop down into the comments and let me know, because I would love to read your thoughts. And hey, if you want to discover even more of nature's strangest secrets with me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Because as we've seen in this explainer today, sometimes reality is significantly stranger than fiction. Thanks so much for learning with me, and I'll catch you in the next one.